Hey everyone, my name is Wes, and welcome back to another episode of Terror Talk where I discuss creepy clips online. I created this original horror music to add to the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Be sure to leave your own comments, and when you're done watching, check the description if you'd like to listen to my music without the commentary. Now let's get into it and have some fun.
I was on a road trip from Portland to Chicago. It's nearly a 3-day drive, so I had some places booked to sleep at along the route. I didn't get too particular with what places I chose, but I went with Airbnbs so I could at least enjoy the road trip a bit more rather than staying in a crowded hotel.
Have you ever been on a really long road trip like that? Thank God for me, I never have been because I would be going absolutely crazy at the end of 3 days on the road. And yeah, let me know in the comments below if you like road trips or not, and if they drive you crazy.
My first Airbnb was in Wyoming, and the route through the state doesn't pass through any big cities really, so it was in a really small town. It was probably no bigger than 2 or 3 miles long. As I passed the border into Wyoming, it started snowing heavily, only dragging on the long day of driving. By the time I got into town, the roads were covered in snow and the sun had already set. It was pretty dead though. I mean, I don't know much about small towns, but this seemed exactly how I thought it would be, especially in a low population state like Wyoming. I was hoping there would be a McDonald's or something that I could get a quick dinner from, but it was very clear that there wasn't going to be. So I drove through the town and turned down the road to my Airbnb. It was a long driveway leading up to a small home in the middle of a field with tall snow-covered pine trees lined up in the front yard. I parked on the side and got out with my bag, then walked around to the front. I put in the code and got inside, closing the door behind me and turning on the lights. It was small, probably 500 square feet, with just a living room and bedroom. I took my shoes off and dropped my bag next to the bed, then sat on the couch. When I did, a thump came from the bedroom. I looked back at the doorway I had just come from. It was pretty loud, but I had no idea what it could have been.
Even loud sounds like that, or a sound at all that's sort of out of place in an Airbnb like that in the middle of nowhere in the snowy woods, that can be alarming, couldn't it? I mean, I know it's not much to think of in that given moment, but it's still kind of alarming to hear sounds that are out of place in the middle of nowhere where you're not comfortable at all. And the image of that Airbnb out in the middle of the snowy woods like that, pretty spooky, huh? I don't know if I want to stay there.
I got up and walked back, looking into the room and turning on the light. It was all the same. I went and checked the small bathroom that was in there as well, but it all looked good, and the only other door in the house was the bedroom closet. I walked over and tugged on the door handle, but it didn't budge. It seemed like it was locked from the other side. At first, I was pretty weirded out that a bedroom closet would be kept shut, but then I thought it could have been a maintenance closet the owner was storing stuff in. There were no other places to put anything, so that was the final conclusion I came to. I went back to the living room and rested my eyes.
What if someone were hiding in that closet and holding the door shut so tight from the other side they couldn't get it open? Isn't that a possibility? I mean, man, that would just be spooky as hell, in my opinion. Just thinking that someone could be hiding in that closet, it gives me shivers just kind of thinking about it.
Eyes on the couch while thinking through my plan for the next day. After 15 minutes, I got back up and went over to the window, looking out to see if the snow was still coming down and if the roads were even going to be drivable tomorrow. It was eerily dark outside, with no lights from the town showing behind the tall pine trees, and it was still snowing heavily. I shut the blinds and turned back to the couch, but I saw a shadow move in the bedroom. It was slow and smooth, like the shadow to a door opening or closing. I started walking over, listening as I approached the doorway and looked inside the room. Everything was in place, and nothing looked to have caused the shadow I saw, but I knew I saw something move in there. I continued looking around until my eyes fell back on the closet. It was still closed, but something gave me an unsettling feeling about it.
He sounds awfully, or she, I can't remember the name of the person, but they sound awfully calm in this situation, don't you? I feel like I'd be freaking out quite a bit more if I had seen a freaking shadow in the room, in the bedroom. Now, let's see if this is a person or an actual ghost or a spirit, because maybe it could be a ghost or a spirit too. Maybe this is a spirit or a ghost story, but let's find out.
I stepped up and grabbed the handle, and it opened with ease. It wasn't locked anymore. But inside, there wasn't anything. It was just a small and empty walk-in closet. Before I could fully process everything and try to put the pieces together, I heard someone behind me. When I turned around, a large man was standing in the doorway to the bathroom. He looked beaten and tired, having scratches and cuts all over his face. And as I stared at him, he didn't even seem to care. He stepped into the bedroom and kneeled down, grabbing a dirty and worn duffel bag from under the bed. The man then stood back up and didn't even look at me as he slowly walked out of the room and out the front door. I ran up and saw him trailing through the snow until he was beyond the lights from the house. I tried to get police involved, but after giving my description, they really only talked to the Airbnb host. After leaving town, I didn't get any more information. I think it's most likely that he was just using the place to sleep or something, but the way he looked makes me second guess that. I just can't even think of what could have happened if I went right to bed that night, with the man hiding in the closet just inches away from me.
Yeah, so what do you think of this story and this guy? It didn't seem like he was dangerous at all. He didn't show any signs of aggression. In fact, from the description, he just looked completely beaten and worn out. And I don't know, maybe he got attacked by something or someone, because they said that he had scratches all over his face, and so I don't know, maybe he was just using the Airbnb to recover or something, but didn't plan on harming the person at all. But either way, that would be pretty creepy to discover someone like that where you're staying, right? And I was right before about the guy who was probably holding on from the other side inside the closet like that, to keep the guy from coming in, to keep the person from coming in the closet. So, but what would you have done if you had discovered someone like that just standing in the bathroom doorway? Would you have attacked him, or would you have just been sort of calm about it and let the guy leave? For me, I probably would have just let the guy leave, honestly, because unless he had tried to attack me or shown any signs of aggression, I wouldn't want any confrontation. Even though I am or was a black belt in Taekwondo and could probably defend myself if I needed to, I just prefer not to get into any fights of any kind like that. But yeah, let me know what you would have done. And I thought this was a good story, and I hope you enjoyed my commentary and music. And I will see you in the next video.